Yes.
Gabe talked about how this all happened so fast. From your perspective, why was he such the right guy, and why did it happen so fast?
Well, after we got the approval to make the change, we have to go through a governance process to do this stuff, we identified the right players and the right representatives in this business. We've been doing this for a while. It's my first women's basketball hire, so you get to know the agents over the year, and they have a stable of coaches, and you kind of talk to the coach to the agents and say, okay, this is what we're looking for, and then it happens pretty quick, and then they give you a bunch, and you're up all night trying to figure out who you're wanting to enter, who fits, what you're looking for. After feedback, what we think that we need. We got some feedback from the ladies on the team this year, and just some simple feedback. When I told them that we were making a change, that's always something I always talk to the ladies about. And so then you start trying to profile, because they're where the rubber meets the road, and they had the best pulse on what they think they need. It wasn't every personal. It was about skills. It was about development. It was about evaluation. It was about style play. All that kind of stuff that went into the decision, and that's where then we start identifying those, and then we make a move. I don't know if that helps you.
No, but no, it does. But how did he most impress you? How did he knock it out of the park in your first
Authentic.
Yeah.
He's authentic. He's a connector. We talk about recruiter. I think the word recruiter is overused too. I think connecting is the most important thing, because recruiters were a term used by a lot of basketball coaches back in the old days when I first got in the business. It's about, you have to connect with people and you have to relate to them. And when you connect with people, they listen to you. You can coach them hard, but you have to love them hard. And that's something that I saw real quick out of him. He was just very authentic. He got emotional talking about his mom. I'm not going to tell you, but he's got a backstory. You'll have to ask him about it sometime, about how he grew up. And it was, a lot like a lot of students that former alumni and students that I've talked to since I've been here. It's the story. It's the UCF story. I'm a son of an immigrant. I know how it is. That's not the reason why we made the hire, but I could relate to some of the challenges, and so it was really cool. Obviously he had the skill set. One of the things that I liked most about when people talk about his head coaching experience, when he's talking about Sam, coach from Mississippi State, he was at, I think, Arkansas at the time, so it was his first Power 4 head job, when he coming from an top assistant to a Power 4 job. And we talked a lot about what did you learn, what did you see, what was some of the challenges, and what were some of the achievements or the successes or things that you did well to translate from being an assistant to head coach. And I saw all that, and that's been pretty successful for me over the years when hiring coaches. When you see people, you're around coaches that also transition into those type of competencies. That's a long answer, but that's okay.
From an administration viewpoint, in this day and age of the portal, how quick are turnarounds expected?
Well, that was something that we're very mindful of getting it done, before the weekend, so he could get over here. He was going to the Final Four. He's on some committees, some assistant coaches committees, and so we knew we had to kind of get a decision. But so it wasn't. We were quick, but not hurrying. We didn't hurry through the process. We were quick about it, but not hurrying.
But from a competitive standpoint,
he's forward. He was here before the portal. He was hired before the portal. He had his relationships. He has a little bit of a head start about what he wants to do, and he was already recruiting some of the athletes. He knows the coaches, and so it gives him an opportunity.
But moving forward, wins and losses.
Yeah.
How patient can you be and the administration be to build?
Well,
something?
as you know, our women's basketball program hasn't been where we are now. The transition hurt a little bit with our former coach that left. Back then, she took all of her players, and that was the day and age. You could do that, so we had to start from scratch. But we just didn't get better like we wanted. And we gave them a couple years. We knew that there was some, the cupboard was empty when she got here. It just didn't get better. And so my expectations are a little higher this time, because I think we were competitively resourced and with rev share. But it's like I said in my opening remarks, it's part of the issue. You also have to evaluate. You have to evaluate and to develop. And that was something that he has been doing his whole career, is evaluation and developing. So I expect us to have, I mean, listen, in this day and age, depending on how many young people you get in the portal, you turn around pretty quickly. Or, I mean, do I expect us to win the national championship next year? No. But I expect that we're going to be a team that can compete in this league.
How did you
What gives
weigh?
you the confidence to meet those expectations?
What gives it? Just the conversations. Just the conversations. And he's been around very successful programs. Every place that he's been, whether it's high school, junior college, AAU, mid-major, I don't like that term, but that's what the basketball people use. Mid-majors, all that stuff, they win everywhere. He wins everywhere. So he has seen at every different level winning. As a player, he's played Division I, he's played JUCO ball. So there's not a player that can explain to him that, or you haven't gone through what I've gone through. He's seen it all. And I just think having that background and looking at profiles of winning at different levels and all different levels is extremely important when you're evaluating coaches.
How did you weigh whether to hire a coach with previous head coaching experience as opposed to Gabe, who's been a top-level assistant at the Power 4 level?
Well, I think those are just all variables you have to look at when you're having conversations. I think being a high school, now I'm a purist. You guys know, you know me long enough. I'm a purist. Being a high school coach is the purest form of coaching. Because when you're at a public high school, you don't get to pick your players. A lot of private schools, they might have a look, but when you're at a public high school, you don't get to pick your players. You have to be, I have a lot of respect for high school football and basketball coaches that win consistently at public high schools based on the kids that are in their district to go to those schools. So I think I take a lot of credence, and have you won at that level? Did you win at the AAU level? Did you win as an assistant coach? I mean, I think those are all, having head coaching experience, you've called it. You've called defenses, you've called offenses, you've done all that stuff. And he was the defense coordinator at Power 4 conference in the SEC, and he's calling defenses. So, it's not like he was he's just a coach on the end of the bench. I know you're not saying that, but and never had any X and O experience. Yeah.
Coach with.
It's pretty cool that he can, when he tries to connect, it just gives him another group of people to connect with. I think, and it wasn't the reason why, but I liked the flavor of, we are a Hispanic serving institution. We have a lot of young people that celebrate and are proud of their heritage. And I think it's just another person that is in a leadership position on this campus that can connect with demographic. It's that simple. Plus, I think it just adds a little. It's different, right? It's different than what we've had. It's different than anybody else's hired. And I did think, based on our last coach, sometimes it's the pendulum swing. You look at something completely different. I think.
Coach, according to recent reports, the NCAA is considering a new eligibility model that's like age-based with five years, no redshirts, all that stuff. Just wanted to get your comments on that, and with that.
Well, it's not approved yet, but yeah, I kind of like that. I think it's a good. I wouldn't say I don't like the 19 and 24. I like once you graduate high school to 24. I think that's better because we do have some athletes that are 17 that show up to camp. They show up to campus that aren't quite 19 yet. So, but yeah, we're open to it. I think we got to do something. We can't just keep doing waivers all the time. So,
Terry, last time I spoke with you, you were talking about working on a deal with Johnny. Did you guys come any closer on that?
Well, we submitted a deal. We worked on that. We submitted to his representatives, and we're waiting to hear back.
Multi-year?
Yeah.
It's good. Thanks, Terry.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Thanks for really seriously. He was very impressed. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Really do. Really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yeah.